Hello, everybody. My name's Dr. Jim, and this is Chem 127. The purpose of this introductory video is to just kind of tell you a little bit about me and get you used to seeing this old bald guy stare into a web camera and narrate. And this is how a lot of the course will take place. I will be projecting some things here and kind of talking my way through them. One of the things that I asked you to fill out was this course survey because, well, it helps me get to know people. I don't know whether that's appropriate in an online course or not, but in my in-person courses, this helps me learn people's names and things like that, and I do find people interesting. So, and since I asked you to fill one of these things out, I fill one too, and I just figured I would take some time to tell you a little bit about me. And again, my name is Dr. Jim Phillips. I teach in the Department of Chemistry, obviously, at UW-Eau Claire. Most students call me Dr. Jim, and that's fine. It's actually my 15th year at UWEC, although sometimes I still feel like the new guy. I'm a chemist, and I did dabble in a career in atmospheric sciences for a bit, so I'm sort of like part-time atmospheric sciences. Decided to get back into teaching chemistry at a four-year school. Where do I come from? I was born in the Twin Cities. Those of you from that part of the world probably know Edina. I'm not really one of those people. I had to grow up with them too. But you know, that's every day I need attention. I went to school out east at a school called Middlebury College and did research with a woman named Sun-Hee Choi, where I decided to become a chemist. I did my PhD at the University of Minnesota under a little guy named Ken Leopold, and then after that, that's when I dabbled in my career in the atmospheric sciences, where I did a postdoc, which is sort of akin to what a PhD does in terms of sort of like a medical residency, but it's not for medical doctors, it's for PhDs. At the University of Colorado at Boulder, and I also spent some time working at the National Center for Atmospheric Research, and my mentor was Veronica Vita. I always like to point out that even though I'm a physical chemist, which is still kind of a male-dominated enterprise, that two of my three mentors in my professional development were females, which I appreciate. What do I like to do? Well, let's see, I have some props here. I do have two teenage daughters, both sophomores at Memorial, that I parent half-time, which makes me very busy half the time, and a little bit more free time the other time. This is Ellie. She is a bass player and a trombone player. This is Maggie. She's a singer. Music is kind of their thing. What else do I do? I spend a lot of time outdoors when I can. I like to fish a lot. I hunt a little bit. I paddle. I camp. I walk my dog. This is a sort of photo essay of my dog Nina. I don't know to what degree you're going to be able to see that. I do have a little intro clip from last summer that's kind of cute of me and my dog that I'm going to splice in right here. And usually when I'm going to do that and I don't want to stop the reporting, I'll just kind of stop like this and wait. Yeah, okay. And this is my dog, Nina. She's a basset hound. There you go. There's a treat, Nina. You're being a very good dog. There you go. Ouch. She likes food and going to races. And you'll probably see us on the bike trail every once in a while. There, you can have a little more. Okay, smile for the camera one more time, Nene. There you go. And then I'll come back to that sort of really creepy pose. What else I've been doing a lot? I've been playing a lot of music. I am a bass player and an acoustic guitar player. This is my acoustic guitar. Oops, that sounded really bad. Anyhow, I do play some music. I'm in a band right now called The Instructors, which is kind of an up-and-coming thing with me and two other science teachers who play trio blues that ought to be really interesting. Beyond that, I try to stay active. I work out at the Y. I try to skate. I used to be a hockey player. Go figure, the guy's from Edina, and he was a hockey player. I was never that good of a hockey player. But I do like to get out on my skates, especially out on the outdoor ice. Music, I'm a music guy. I like classic rock, obviously, the same music that your parents listen to, and blues and some other stuff. In terms of books, I like the Harry Potter books and other kind of sci-fi-ish sort of stuff. Star Wars, Men in Black, TV, Star Trek episodes, you get the idea. The guy's a nerd, he teaches chemistry, and he's into sci-fi. Not like some people, but that's kind of my probably favorite thing. A few comments about the course. Well, I'm not taking the course, I'm teaching the course, but I really like this course because it's very unusual for a chemistry professor to get a chance to say, all right, I'm going to make a course about this, and it's going to have this and this and this, and these are the elements that are going to be brought together. Usually when you're teaching a chemistry course, it's the first half of the organic chemistry textbook or the first half of the intro chem textbook, and it's pretty scripted. This maybe is a little bit more like a course that somebody in the humanities or the social sciences get to develop, where we get to bring some more elements into it. And I like this because, I brought some elements of the climate change story, emphasizing primarily the science, but also some of the more human and societal connections, and kind of made it into my story. And that's an unusual luxury for me as somebody who normally teaches chemistry. So I really like this course. It's got a lot of me in it, for better for worse. It's also really fun to connect with the non-Phillips Hall folks and try to explain something to people that don't eat and breathe science all the time. So I really enjoy teaching, non-Phillips Hall majors, and I think in this case, it's a problem that the scientists and the politicians end up talking a lot about, and we all sort of need to gather some perspective on it. I think there's a room for just about everybody to chime in and make a contribution to the solution to this problem. Obviously, I've taken a lot of math and science courses. I could say that I was a NOAA postdoctoral fellow in climate and global change if I wanted to tout my credentials on this. My fellowship at the Colorado and NCUR was the fellowship program that produced a lot of the big names in atmospheric science, and I decided to go the other way and go back into being a guy who teaches chemistry at a four-year school. And people over-tout their credentials in this as it is. But that's just the idea. That's me kind of having fun there. In terms of my take on some of these problems I asked you about, I think I'm ready to elevate global warming to a 4 in terms of severity. Ozone depletion is a 2 in the sense that we've done everything we can do to solve that problem. We've done a good job on it. As long as we stick with it, it's going to take another 50 years or so for all of the chlorine to get out of the stratosphere. So we could change our mind and wreck that, but I don't think we will, or I hope we won't. Overpopulation, I think, is getting very serious. There's a lot of people and urban sprawl. And I guess the other thing I would point out is all of these 4 things are very related, okay? Ozone depletion and climate change are linked in a much more subtle way than people realize that we'll talk about, but there's a link there. But global warming is a reflection of overpopulation and urban sprawl and land use and a fossil fuel economy, and all sorts of things about our society boiled down into one little measurement of global carbon dioxide concentrations, which is kind of cool. So those are the environmental problems I think about, and that's me. And with that, we'll get on with some business.